Paloflahiatu and good evening. Leading our news bulletin, the Niue High Court proceedings this week have been quite busy with a number of civil, criminal and land matters before Judge Coxhead. In the civil courts, there was an application for a declaratory judgment that was filed by the Member of Commonwealth Honourable Terry Coe versus the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Ahohiva Levy. Judge Coxhead has given the government's legal representatives at the Crown Law Office until the 22nd of November to respond. The plaintiff, Honourable Terry Coe, has until the 29th of November to reply. The judge has also ruled that all submissions relating to this particular case would have to be dealt with on paper. However, other civil proceedings had two petitions for divorce. Both were granted, and one application for leave to serve a summons out of Niue for a divorce petition. That application was also granted. There was one civil matter for a claim seeking compensation. Orders have been made by consent. And in the criminal courts, 9 charges were brought before the courts, with 7 adjourned to be heard by the judges in 2014. The other 2 criminal cases were adjourned until later this afternoon. Rheumatic fever screening tests in the schools have found some new positive cases. The tests conducted last week included the new entries at Niue Primary School and all of Niue High School students. Their parents had consented to be part of the screening program. According to house specialists, rheumatic fever mainly affects children in between 5 to 15 years old and has common symptoms to the flu. An influx of students that presented to the hospital with fever and sore throats about 10 years ago prompted health to seek assistance. A pediatrician was able to take throat swabs and detected a few cases positive for rheumatic fever then. However, this is the first program that has targeted the whole school population on the island. Last year's tests in Niue Primary and Year 13 of Niue High School had 12 positive cases. With a combined school roll of about 300 on the island, it is fortunate that cases have been detected early for treatment. The use of eco-screening has proven a more effective means to detect rheumatic fever, and it is expected that they will be able to review and follow up in 2 years' time. For new cases, it will mean consistent injections every 28 days for the next 10 years if parents have consented for treatment. Health Department were not able to confirm exact figures. We will be able to bring you more on this story next week. Telephones around the island continue to cause headaches for many residents, and telecom staff are also frantically trying to fix lines. Director of Telecom, Mr. Tutuli Haka, said they are trying to work on projects to ensure the phones are working well and deal to the faults that have been reported recently. The staff are working on the Vaya and Hakupu lines to connect because they are still in the old system, and staff will then continue to the faults that have been reported. Mr. Haka said the problem faced at present is the availability of skilled workers to carry out the work. There is not enough available manpower to work. However, he said the department and staff are trying their best to address everyone's needs. Braving the heat to claim the Rockman, Rockwomen titles has been celebrated by a husband and wife from New Zealand. According to the men's winner, Andrew Abakan, the competition was tough because of the heat, but it was worth it.
I'd put it up there as one of the tougher events I've done. I've been on doing a couple of Ironmans in similar temperatures. It's, and this race is more intense, but the combination of the heat and humidity, I think that the way the organisers set it was quite good. We had a couple of days to get used to it, and then we had a few easy introductory races. So by the time we got to this one, we were feeling still a wee bit, the humidity and the temperature kicking in, but definitely better acclimatized. And the support today was fantastic, and it was great to see everyone out there giving us a clap, all the kids and whatnot. So,
well, you certainly gave our local favourite Rick a run for his money.
Oh yeah, that was quite a surprise actually. I think I sort of knew I'd be a bit better in the swim, but I knew he had something else to hide on the bike, so I wasn't surprised to see him in the transition together, and I thought it was all on in the run, and it was a good honest test out there. I think we all pushed it to the limit, so thank you.
Yeah, well, there's a few young local boys that joined in, or some of the local kids that young ones that joined in. What hints can you give them, or some advice as to what to prepare for such event?
Well, I think in this way you've got a fantastic environment, and again, I think we come across and, we've got all this fancy kit and expensive toys and whatnot, but the basics is where a lot of people, even if they bring over their fancy bike, a lot of people ride cheap bikes back home, heavy bikes, just for the training, because again, it's really just the engine is the most important thing, and we just enjoyed the swimming here so much. I think that if there's those opportunities to start a wee bit of swimming, just a little bit at a time maybe. I don't know if the weather's always good, but if it is similar like this, and I think this couple like Shannon giving a hand, that would just be a wonderful opportunity just to create some, a bit of routine and also a bit of camaraderie. And I've seen you've got some good runners as well too, and just little steps. That's all it takes. And I'm in the Canterbury Tri Club back home in Christchurch, and there's people who do really, really well and have got lots of flash kit, but there's lots of newbies who don't have any of that stuff. And it's the same thing, same thing as Shannon, just introducing people just to basics with the waters and whatnot. And as you get more confident, then that just feeds off, and you get more culture. And as you get a bigger culture, it just becomes more inviting. And I think that, hopefully that's something you can get rolling here. I think it would be fantastic if you could build on that, because you've got everything you need here.
The women's race was also won by his wife Lydia. She said she is glad to have competed and hopes to return in 2014 to defend her title.
In my place, it's been a fantastic race, a brilliant day out. Yeah.
How hard was it?
It's very hard, mainly because of the heat. We're not used to. I live in New Zealand, and we're not used to such a hot temperature. But the fact that we came here a week before, and we've been able to do the swim and the run and the bike at different sections has really helped to get us used to the temperature.
Which was the hardest event? Was it the swim or the run?
The run, definitely the run, because you're out there on the bike and you tire your legs, and then by the time it gets to the run, it's always really tough. And that little hill up there, that was very difficult.
Now there's been a lot of interest since the last couple of years, since this event has started. What can you say to some of the young women? Because there are a lot of young men, young boys who are coming up as well.
Well, I think it is a fantastic event. It's absolutely brilliant. The whole island is behind. There was support everywhere. It is a beautiful setting. It's so worthwhile, and you feel so good afterwards. So I would like to encourage the Newans to participate next year in teams and individuals. Just start training, because it's very doable, and it is fantastic.
Will you be back to try again next year?
I'm not sure, but I'd love to. I'd love to be back into this island, because it's a brilliant place, and if I come back, I definitely have to come back for the Rockman.
Local favourite Rick had to settle for second placing, and he said he always enjoys the event, and it's also good for young competitors.
So the difference this time is we have a lot of amazing athletes who came, and I'm really grateful for that, because it means that it's a really competitive race then. And I think that's really great. And then the other thing that's really great is seeing all the local Niuean kids out racing. Awesome. Okay.
How difficult was it this year? It's really hot.
Pretty much the same as last year, except last year, of course, we couldn't do the swim because the waves were crashing over the wharf. So it was nice this year. We got to do the full triathlon.
And obviously the competition was tough. Of course, you came second.
Yeah, we had international guys here, like Andrew next to me who won. He's a very accomplished Ironman athlete, as many others here. So, it's great. It's great for Niue.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you're planning you're building here on the island, and I know from last year when the event happened, we sort of heard a lot of the young ones wanting to be like you. Will you have a chance to perhaps give them a few hints for next year?
Absolutely. In fact, Willie and I were already chatting about talking to some of the young kids about training programs and about nutrition and about getting some more equipment for them so that they can have, for example, shoes rather than trying to cycle in jandals. Cycling in jandals on a distance like this is extra hard. So
certainly we saw one with one of the local boys. He ran in his socks.
Yeah, that's like amazing. That is amazing.
Any last words for those young ones wanting to be like Rick?
You know, if it's something that you're interested in and you're passionate about it, then you just have to get out there and do it, and you just have to continue to train. And I'm always happy to talk to anyone that's interested in being a better swimmer, runner, or biker.
Will you be back next year?
Absolutely. Annually.
Even though some local teams did not enter the long course, they still enjoyed the short course, and we will bring you more results in our future news bulletin. And that concludes our news bulletin for this evening. Do join us again next week.